This is a very dangerous video that I'm about to be making here, seeing as this game is a lot of people's, this is their favorite Batman Arkham game. And I wonder if over time, people have, made this not as much their favorite Arkham game. Maybe they've come to realize that Arkham Origins, Arkham Knight might potentially be better games. I'm not saying that one's better than the other. I'm not saying any of that. But I think over the years, I think more people have started to appreciate the other Arkham games more. However, for the most part, I think this is the majority of people's favorite game. And honestly, this game is borderline perfection. And I want you guys, I want to preface this. There are not a whole lot of things wrong with this game. In fact, the things that I did find, I had to, go out of my way to be I don't know if this is good. And some of this stuff isn't even that bad. There's 2 of these points that I got a total of 4 points. 2 of them are yeah, I don't actually really like it that much. But the other 2 are they're still not bad, but it's the worst of the good. That's the best way for me to describe it. And I'm not gonna go into stupid little things like the Deadshot side mission finale. That was bad, but I'm not gonna go into that stuff. I want to get into more bigger issues that these games generally had, in my opinion. And these 4 things to me are what the game did wrong. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get into the first thing. Now the first thing, I'm just going to get this out of the way, the Riddler. There is way too many Riddler trophies in this game. And this is one of those ones where I don't have a whole lot of issues with, because most of the trophies in this game that you can get within 10 seconds. A lot of them you have to use your cryptographic sequencer, or you might have to use your bat claw or something. It's very quick. However, sometimes there might be ones where you don't understand the puzzle, and it might take you 10 minutes to get one trophy. There's 440 total Riddler challenges and Riddler trophies, Catwoman trophies, riddles. There's 440 total in this game. And that is absolutely ridiculous. That is way too many. Way too many trophies. And imagine it does take you 5-10 minutes just to get one trophy. Most of them is not like that. That's true. I will concede that point. However, in my opinion, it's just way too many trophies. The next thing I have, and again, it's kind of smaller potatoes. This one's another one that doesn't bother me as much. And after this, we'll get into the points that genuinely do. But that's the cure plot. To me, it feels like this game is a bit of a goose chase. And I've mentioned this in previous videos. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do a goose chase. This does not feel like it. Because to us, the player, we're basically chasing a cure for the entire game. That sounds kind of dumb when you say it like that, right? And I understand, from the player's perspective, it's, oh, well, Batman's dying. He's trying to save his life. However, if you want to look at this through Batman's perspective, Batman's almost doing this to try to save the Joker. It's not even as much about him, I don't think, as it is he wants to save the Joker's life. Seeing as he literally said at the end of the game, and I quote, "Even after everything you've done, I would have saved you." I think he was more interested in saving everybody else than he was in saving himself. Because of that, a lot of this game kind of feels like that we're just doing favors for the Joker. And I understand why. It's because the Joker poisoned him. The Joker poisoned Batman. And if Batman wants to live, he has to get this cure. But again, that makes it seem like Batman's just Joker's bitch. To put it in, I don't know. It's not really the biggest potatoes in the world. It's still a very good story. It's a very good game. And there's kind of one more story point I do have here that's bigger potatoes than this. But to me, it's just extremely frustrating to just feel like the Joker's bitch. And just that we're just doing whatever the Joker wants us to do. Now, these last 2 things are bigger issues that I do have overall with this game. The first one being Hugo Strange. Hugo Strange was kind of meant to be the main villain in this game. He knows Batman's identity. That in itself should be a big plot line that Rocksteady went into. But Hugo threatens Batman's identity if Batman tries to stop him. Then when Batman tries to stop him, he doesn't reveal Batman's identity. So it kind of makes the whole threat kind of useless, and it kind of makes Hugo Strange seem like, I don't know how to phrase it other than a bitch. He's just making empty threats. He's someone that Batman could just easily walk all over. Hugo Strange isn't really any sort of physical or psychological threat even to Batman. And so it kind of makes me furious that we could have had a story where Batman has to go about, doing things a certain way to try to stop Hugo Strange, like, say, arresting one of Hugo Strange's right-hand man, one of his right-hand men, could have interrogated him to try to get some answers as a way to try to get inside and infiltrate Strange without him knowing, and certain things that I think that could have been done a little bit differently. And having this massive threat that, Hugo Strange knows Batman's identity, but then he dies at the end of the game, and he never really uses the threat the way he says he's going to. Now, the last thing I have, and this is the biggest issue I have with this game overall. The first three, I can forgive. This one, I can physically not forgive. And that is the map. The map in itself, the size of it isn't too bad. That's not my issue. My issue is this big thing in the middle of Wonder Tower. And every time you need to go from the steel mill over to Penguin's Museum, you gotta fly all the way around this thing. You gotta glide all the way around this big thing in the middle. And if you try to enter it, you get turned around. It's like a invisible wall almost. Batman gets shot at, he turns around, whatever. But to me, this is a huge issue because it kind of feels like it slows down the pacing of the game. It kind of feels like that you have to just glide around this massive wall that takes an extra 2 minutes. And to me, it kind of takes away any sort of, thrill from the game. It kind of makes it a little bit annoying to have to go to the next mission, and kind of gets a little bit boring just gliding around. Yes, you do have the grapnel boost, and thank God, because if you didn't have the grapnel boost, this would be an even bigger issue that I would have with this game. So at least that there is that overall. And here's the thing, even in me, saying these negative things about Batman Arkham City, I still have positive things to say within those negative things. That the map size itself is not a problem. That we have the grapnel boost. So at least we're able to get around this wall somewhat efficiently. However, the fact that this massive wall is in the way, and we have to glide all the way around, makes it feel like it kills the pacing of the game. And it makes it feel like it kind of just takes you out of the moment, in my opinion. But guys, this is just my opinions. These are the things I think Arkham City didn't do so well. And like I said at the beginning, I had to go out of my way to find things that this game didn't do well. It wasn't like this game did so many things wrong and it was obvious. Like Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight, I do believe are going to be easier to point out holes in either the story or just the overall gameplay in general. With this one was a lot harder for me to do, actually. But let me know what you guys think Batman Arkham City didn't do so well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more content. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you're alerted when I upload. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day. Peace!